Right now, a local nonprofit is hosting a rally for Ukraine. How it's trying to make sure discussion about the war there doesn't end. Also, the Black Women's Wellness Community Hub is hosting its Wear Red Day. How members are looking to aid Black women's heart health in the local area. Local students took part in Madison's annual All-City Spelling Bee. Will spell out the big winner. Hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us in. Well, if it felt a little cold today compared to last weekend's nice weather, we are actually right where we should be. Our breezy weather will continue through the rest of the weekend. Here's Blaze Keller with a look at our first warn forecast. Hey, Blaze.
Hello. We're expecting those breezy conditions to continue into Sunday, and temperatures will be even colder tomorrow as well. We're slammed between that low pressure system that brought western parts of our coverage area those inches of snow and an incoming high pressure system that will keep us quiet as we start off next week. Seeing some flurries, especially from about I-90 eastward, cutting Dane County in half. I-39, I should say, eastern parts of Dane County, all of Jefferson County along really 94 there into northeastern parts of Rock County, Walworth, and Dodge counties. They're dealing with, at the very least, some minor flurries. Not expecting much in the way of accumulation, and that flurry action is going to continue into your day on Sunday as well. We'll hang out right around where we should be for this time of year overnight, and we're tracking cooler temperatures for Sunday when the 50s could return in the full forecast.
Thanks, Blaze. Sauk Prairie police are investigating after finding someone dead from a gunshot wound. Police found the person at about 3 this morning at a home on 21st Street in Prairie du Sac. Law enforcement hasn't released the victim's name nor any details of what may have happened. However, they say there's no threat to the public and this is an isolated incident. Anyone with information should contact Sauk Prairie Police at 608-643-2427 or 608-355-4495. In Kenosha, officials are confirming there is no active threat following a reported security concern at the UW Parkside campus this morning. The campus originally closed just after 10 this morning, and law enforcement investigated the situation. They determined there was no active threat just before 1 p.m. Events and classes this afternoon then proceeded as normal. Authorities say additional information will be provided when possible. In a statement, the university is thanking campus and local police for their response and the university community for cooperation. A Juneau County Sheriff's deputy is recovering after getting hurt during a car chase. On Friday, just before 4, deputies assisted with a pursuit near the city of New Lisbon. The deputy was driving on U.S. Highway 12 and 16, lost control of the car on a snow-covered area of the road, and then crashed. The deputy was treated for minor injuries and is expected to recover. The driver accused of going 62 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone and killing 17-year-old Sasha Rosen is out on bond. According to the Dane County Sheriff's Office website, 51-year-old Kathleen Borgwart is no longer listed on the jail's roster. Borgwart was booked into the Dane County Jail Monday morning after the crash on South Park Street on February 5th that killed Rosen when he was on his way to school. Borgwart is accused of hitting Rosen with her car while he was waiting for the bus. She faces second-degree reckless homicide and is scheduled to appear in court on March 30th. February 24th will be the 4th anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. A group in Madison is making sure conversations about this topic don't stop. At the Capitol today, members of the Friends for Ukraine organization met to share news, spread hope, and commemorate everything that has happened in Ukraine since 2022. The organization started a few years ago, stemming from a Facebook group. After the invasion in 2022, more people started joining the group to feel more connected with the community and try to use their voices to support the country. Randy Hillebrand, who moved back to the United States after spending 24 years in Ukraine as a religious worker, says he's seen a new side from those in Ukraine that he's never seen before, a side that works through things and doesn't give up. With that, he thinks if America doesn't try to help, things could get worse globally.
We're just going to, we could just see tyranny, just increase in the world, and we can't let that happen. America has always stood for freedom and democracy, and we need to continue to stand for that.
His comments come after President Trump's halt on military aid to Ukraine last year. But on the individual level, advocacy shows no signs of stopping. Well, today's get-together is a prime example. It's one of Milwaukee's most enduring mysteries, the 2002 disappearance of 7-year-old Alexis Patterson. And now her mother, Ayanna, is planning to sue the Milwaukee Police Department. She's alleging police misconduct and corruption in their failed efforts to seek justice for Alexis Patterson. Alexis's stepfather, Laurent Bourgeois, reportedly walked her to school on the day she disappeared, which was the last time anyone saw her alive. Bourgeois, who also has died, was also implicated in the shooting death of a Glendale police officer, a connection Ayanna Patterson believes may have led police to focus on him rather than other possibilities or suspects. A representative for Ayanna Patterson says police have wrongly focused on her and her family.
Easier to believe that a young black girl dealing with a husband who is known for being a criminal, it's easier to believe that than it is to believe that, you know, law enforcement mishandled the case and didn't properly investigate the case.
Ayanna Patterson believes her daughter is still alive and hopes this lawsuit will lead to answers. In more local news tonight, a local organization is educating those in the community on heart health during its annual Wear Red Day celebration. Maya Tate shows us.
Last week was Valentine's Day, but that doesn't mean hearts are out of season just yet. The Foundation for Black Women's Wellness donned crimson this Saturday for their annual Wear Red Day, celebrating health and honoring those battling heart disease. For Black women in America, the leading cause of death isn't cancer or accidents. It's heart disease. Almost 59% over the age of 20 struggle with the condition in some way. Lisa Payton, the founding CEO and president, created the foundation to provide health education and fight back against those statistics. And as it turns out, her mission is much more personal than you'd think.
Many of us have lost loved ones, myself included, to heart disease, and we're here today to declare that we will live, and we will live at our best in our best ways.
At the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness, Wear Red Day is more than just a get-together. It's a celebration of sisterhood, awareness, and survival. Chief Programs and Partnership Officer Michelle Robinson says inspiration is the key to prevention.
It is a place for learning, and it is a place where people are being inspired to take real steps in changing their own health and their own sort of life course trajectories.
If you want to help the foundation in its mission to transform health and well-being for Black female Wisconsinites, donations can be made on its website. In the meantime, be on the lookout for other upcoming events, and remember to take care of your own mind and body too. Reporting in Madison, Maya Tate, News 3 Now.
Great advice. Thank you, Maya. Well, when you think of Broadway, usually spotlights, maybe some jazz hands come to mind, but the Capital City Theater's Between the Acts puts its own twist on the genre. Well, you know, Phantom of the Opera wouldn't be complete without Andrew Lloyd Webber's orchestra. But oftentimes we forget about the musical glue that holds the show together. Between the Acts highlights theater's greatest composers, fusing Broadway brilliance with classical elegance. Director of Marketing and Development Aaron Weller says this is the perfect introduction for those wanting to explore the unseen.
Very often when you go to see a musical theater show, the orchestra is hidden. They're in a pit below the stage, or they're in a room off stage and the sound is being piped in. So to be able to get to see the full orchestra up on stage, along with all of the voices in the chorus and the soloists, it creates a very, very different feel.
The show will feature a symphonic orchestra of 50 professional musicians, a full choir and soloists, all conducted by artistic director Andrew Abrams. They'll play on February 28th at 7:30 p.m. and March 1st at 2 p.m. at the Middleton Performing Arts Center. More information can be found at capitalcitytheater.org/Between the Acts. 41 students from Madison area elementary and middle schools filled up Madison College's MIT-B Theater to compete in the Madison All-City Spelling Bee. Students between 3rd and 8th grades took part in the competition, meeting other competitors and spelling words like hors d'oeuvres and ultimatum. But aside from studying and learning the words, Spelling Bee coordinator Jane McMahon thinks, well, there's something even more important the kids are learning.
Oh my gosh, there's so many good things that come out of the spelling bee. It gives kids a kind of low-stake opportunity to learn good sportsmanship, how to win with grace and how to lose with grace. And
the top 3 winners from the Madison All-City Spelling Bee will get to continue representing their schools at the Badger State Spelling Bee in March for the chance at making it to the national competition. Casey Barnhill took home first place with the word Ecuador. Congratulations, everyone. Well, next at 10, officials are providing an update on the search and recovery efforts following the avalanche on California's Castle Peak. We'll show you what we're learning now. Plus, the Supreme Court has struck down President Donald Trump's wide-ranging tariffs, what many businesses are asking for in response.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
In California today, the Nevada County Sheriff's Office held a news conference on the recovery efforts for the victims killed in an avalanche earlier this week. They're announcing the bodies of 9 people were safely recovered from the mountain over the past couple of days. 5 were recovered yesterday evening, while 4 were recovered this morning. The Sheriff's Office is thanking the countless partner agencies that helped with the rescue and recovery process following the incident, and that includes multiple county search and rescue teams, State Highway Patrol, emergency services, state parks, and even gas and electric services.
An incredible amount of mutual aid for an incredible incident, and we could not have done what we've done so far without their assistance.
Today's work marks the end of the search and recovery efforts. Today, President Trump raised his new global tariffs to 15%, one day after the Supreme Court struck down many of his punishing taxes. And now some businesses are thinking, well, what about refunds? CBS's Willie James Inman is at the White House.
Small business owners like David Levi, the founder of MicroKits in Virginia, are breathing a sigh of relief following the Supreme Court's decision.
We've been kind of in survival mode, kind of just things have been slow. And now with this ruling, now I feel some relief.
Levi sued to get a refund on tariffs long before the Supreme Court made its ruling on Friday.
Had to cut my workers' hours. I had to just accept that I was going to make fewer parts this year.
Thousands of businesses, big and small, have had to pay additional tariffs, including corporate giants like Costco, Revlon, and Bumblebee Foods, who also sued to get refunds. But Trump says refunds won't come without a legal battle.
We'll end up being in court for the next 5 years.
And now California Governor Gavin Newsom and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker are demanding the Trump administration pay out refunds to businesses and Americans.
America's working families deserve a refund.
The government has collected more than $130 billion in tariff revenue tied to President Trump's tariff announcement in April of last year. Tariffs have been at the center of President Trump's domestic and foreign policy. And now the White House is putting forward its backup plan.
I have the right to do tariffs, and I've always had the right to do tariffs.
And the White House dismissed and blasted Governor J.B. Pritzker's demand, saying instead he should focus on his own state government. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
Today, the largest and most advanced warship in the American Navy fleet crossed into the Mediterranean Sea, closer to within striking distance of Iran. This under orders from President Trump. Now, it joins the Lincoln aircraft carrier and its armada of guided missile destroyers and cruisers that are already there. President Trump has continued to say he would rather find a diplomatic solution rather than military action to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions. Meanwhile, Iran has said if attacked, it will strike back, and not just against U.S. targets. It'll also hit any regional countries seen to support the U.S., including Israel. Well, back at home, snow preparations are underway as millions of people from Delaware up to southern New England are under blizzard warnings. This historic storm is expected to dump more than a foot of snow on major cities like New York, Boston, and Philadelphia. Officials are warning people to expect significant travel delays on the roads and at the airports. New York's JFK International Airport, one of the busiest in the world, is already warning of significant travel impacts and telling passengers to check their flight status. New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani is warning residents of the weather.
New Yorkers can expect that Monday morning commute will be extremely hazardous, with heavy snowfall and peak winds coinciding to create slippery conditions and greatly reduced visibility.
Even the Washington, D.C. area could see 5 or more inches of snow by Monday. The mayor says the city is deploying its full snow team ahead of the storm. Well, let's get a look at our first warn forecast. No big snow like that, Blaze. It's just a little windy and kind of chilly out compared to last weekend.
That's right. We had our big snow to end last week, but as we look ahead to the final week of February, we're really not seeing a whole lot of heavy snow. Some of us have gotten closer to our normals for this month, but others, especially across southeastern Wisconsin, we really could use a big snowstorm to get us close to where we should be for this time of year. But we will take the light rain snow mix chances that we see Monday night into Tuesday and then Wednesday night into Thursday. A few flurries possible tomorrow, much like today and tonight. We'll hang out in those low to mid 20s, a little bit cooler than that 33. We can blame an incoming high pressure system for that cooler air, and especially for folks in parts of Vernon, Crawford, Richland, and Monroe counties, you're going to be cooler than everybody else because of that snow that fell as we look towards the end of last week. Coupled with northwesterly winds, there is going to be a bit of a wind chill as we wake up and throughout the day. Again, where all that snow fell, you're seeing it there with that darker blue. That is where we're going to be dealing with cooler wind chills, not only throughout the day, but into Monday morning, as well. But Monday morning, some of us, even were those who didn't get the snow at the end of last week, could also feel about 5 to 10 degrees below zero. Folks that did get the snow, about 10 to 15 degrees below zero. We're going to be back into the 30s starting on Tuesday. Could be flirting with the 50s by Friday. Again, those systems moving in Monday night into Tuesday and then Wednesday night into Thursday. Based on the temperatures, it's likely going to be more of a rain-snow mix. And looking at our forecast highs compared to normal, really the last week of February, albeit Friday and Sunday being warmer than and cooler than average by about 10 degrees, we're going to be about where we should be for this time of year. A pretty seasonal end to what is likely going to be our first warmer than average month over the last two. So this will be likely a warm end to February, even though the Climate Prediction Center does want to make us more seasonal as we get into the start of March. I'm not necessarily buying into that. I think we'll be, if anything, seasonal to slightly cooler than average in that first week of March. Maybe some unwanted news for some folks who really enjoy those 60s, but some of our long-range models, they do want to bring down some cooler Canadian air in time for the start of March. But focusing on the near future, we are looking at that first system Monday night into Tuesday. Again, based on temperatures, this is likely going to be at the very least a rain-snow mix, turning over to snow for folks further to the north and east. I would say northeastern Wisconsin especially has the best chance of picking up more of the accumulating snow. Back here across southern Wisconsin, it's looking more or less like an inch or two at best. And then that second system moves in Wednesday night into Thursday. That's going to pretty much hug the Wisconsin-Illinois border, and that's going to be light as well. From there, we are quiet as we officially end February and start off March by that following Monday.
Just ease on in. At least it was good hockey weather.
Yeah, very good hockey weather still to come. A rare milestone was achieved out on the ice. Wisconsin women's hockey took on St. Cloud State. Also, Badger men's basketball have a big test tomorrow, looking to bounce back from a tough loss on Tuesday. Plus, a top 25 matchup at the Kohl Center. Find out if Bucky can get another big win. Stick around for more in sports.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS.
History was made this afternoon on the ice at LeBon Arena. Lacey Eden becomes just the fourth Badger in program history to score 100 career goals. The rare achievement puts her name on a list with 3 Wisconsin Women's Hockey Hall of Fame inductees. Bucky was out on the ice taking on St. Cloud State. The Badgers still shorthanded, missing 5 now gold medalists who are making their way back from Italy. The final seconds of the first period, the score is knotted at 1. However, Kelly Gorbatenko finding the puck right in the goalie's pads and stuffing it over the line. She takes a big hit, but the Badgers up 1 heading into the second. Later on, I mentioned Lacey Eden. Let's check out that milestone goal. The Badgers working the puck around, and a shot near the blue line gets through some traffic, but Eden is able to get a stick on it, and it becomes career goal 100. Later in the game, she would also get 101 and 102 as 3 Badgers combined for 9 goals. Bucky takes this one by a touchdown, winning 9-2. We've got some more action out on the ice, and this one was another big one at the Kohl Center. Wisconsin men's hockey looking to win 2 in a row against the second-ranked Wolverines. Last night, the Badgers continued to prove they are a top 25 team. Let's see if they could keep the momentum rolling forward. On senior night, early on in the first period, Bucky is on the power play. We see some back and forward puck movement here. Gavin Morrissey rips one on the netminder, leading to some chaos in front of the crease when Christian Fitzgerald finds it and sends it home. Badgers go up early. Fast forward now to the second. Michigan is in control. Then a shot from the high slot goes right past Eli Pulver, and Nick Moldenheimer gives the Wolverines the lead. That 2-1 score would travel all the way to 15 seconds left in the third until TJ Hughes scores on the empty net. The Badgers, split the series with the Michigan, falling in this one 3-1. After a disappointing loss on the road on Tuesday, Wisconsin men's basketball has rejuvenated. A season that has shown tremendous upside has also had its share of inconsistencies, but the Badgers remain aware. Senior guard Nick Boyd knows time is winding down, and it's just a couple of weeks now before college basketball's most exciting time of the year.
You know, as a college basketball fan, myself, growing up, this is the time you start really tuning in. So I know all the basketball junkies are ready. I'm ready, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, get through this little stretch, and then you playing with house money. But, you know, I'm just focused on Sunday because it's an unbelievable opportunity and a big time Big Ten game. So it's awesome. I'm just excited.
It's been over 10 years since Greg Gard took over the Badger basketball team. He knows what it takes to go far into the season, but right now the focus is on their big matchup tomorrow against Iowa and competing for as many guaranteed games as possible.
As we told them yesterday, we have 7 guaranteed games left. 5 regular seasons, and 1 in the Big Ten tournament, 1 in the postseason, whatever that may be, and we got to earn more. But most importantly, that earning more starts with what we do with the rest of the 5 games and be on track for that. So they understand that, you know, they know, and they want to play for a long time. When we're good, we have a chance to play for a long time. So that's the goal.
And the Brewers fans are getting a little sneak preview to the upcoming season, right?
Yeah, it may not feel like spring or baseball weather here yet, but soon to come. The Brewers kicked off their first game of spring training earlier today, so exciting baseball is on its way.
It'll be here before we know it. Thanks, Dash. Well, a final check of your first warn forecast is coming up when we return. Well, last weekend was great. We were all thriving, and then February says, nuh-uh, it's still winter out.
Yeah, last weekend was great. Jalen was here. It was
okay. Well, getting out of here.
Yes, all jokes aside, it was warmer last weekend. This weekend, not so much, and probably next weekend, not so much either. We're hanging out in the 20s tomorrow underneath mostly cloudy conditions and breezier conditions than today. We will also be dealing with a few flurries here and there as well. But the real rain-snow mix moves in Monday night into Tuesday, and then again Wednesday into Thursday. We'll briefly flirt with the 50s as we wrap up next week, and then by next weekend, upper 30s to upper 20s Saturday and Sunday. March on the calendar, or on the 10-day there, that following Monday and Tuesday, looking to be quiet, at least for now.
All right, sounds good. And everyone's best friend, Jalen, will be back soon. Thanks for having me, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning.